Welcome to the show, guys. NFL Week 11 is here. We're going to be talking about the latest news and notes and also the optimal starts at each position and the guys that have it in tough. I'm also going to give you guys a defense to stream and get you guys recapped on TreVeyon Henderson's amazing performance yesterday in Thursday Night Football. Guys, football is in Week 11. Can you believe it? Week 11 is here. I cannot believe we're already here. And I want to make sure that you guys win moving forward from Week 11 and on so you guys can secure that championship. Now, I know a lot of you guys are in playoff contention or you're in a situation where every week has to be a win. I'm going to make sure you guys do that here in this video and on this channel. So if you guys like latest news and notes, if you like the NFL, I'm also going to be talking about trending topics such as, like the Antonio Brown, issue, stuff like that. Latest news and notes. If you want to get caught up on the latest news and notes, if you love NFL, if you love sports, if you love the truth, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, guys, and smash thumbs up. And if you got a question, like a specific question for Q&A, 4 starts and sits, whatever it is, trade question, drop it below. I'll try to get to as many as I can. That being said, I only guarantee answers in my Patreon group, guys. Patreon.com/FFCounselor. That's the only place I guarantee questions being answered. Patreon.com/FFCounselor, okay? I'm here in South Florida still. I'm going to be here for a while on vacation, taking an extended vacation. Well-deserved. I haven't gone on vacation since October of 2022 where we came down here with my family, did the whole Disney thing, and we're back here again. And I love South Florida, love the weather. We had a couple cold days, if you guys are from Florida. Cold meaning, I don't know, 60s or something like that. But listen, I'm telling you, man, it's beautiful. South Florida, just amazing stuff. So I've been really, really enjoying that, okay? All right, also, one more thing before we get into the latest news and notes with Breaking Brad. I do want to make sure you guys are covered. Now, I actually predicted yesterday's win with the Patriots. And we'll jump right into news here. But I called it. Patriots are going to win, and they're going to win by more than 12.5 points, and they won by 13, okay? So if you guys want all of the winning picks, Counselor's Edge, I've linked it below. Join the Counselor's Edge. And the place you want to play is mybookie.ag. You could have cashed in big time yesterday. All you had to do is get my course, place it on the Patriots yesterday. Mybookie.ag, the code you want to use, FFC. Go create an account, put down a deposit, and there's a $500 bet back bonus. So if you put $500 in, you could get that back. Go read the rules. Mybookie.ag, the code you want to use, FFC. Put down that deposit and get on the action. I got my winning picks, guys. Go to Counselor's Edge. I've linked it below. Or go to my website. It's there, man. Go under, you could under programs, Counselor's Edge, and get it. Get the season pass. It's like half price, like $40 for the whole season. You're gonna get that return probably in the first week. Okay. So mybookie.ag, code you want to use, FFC. Go create an account right now. All right. That's all I have for you for the plugs. And I'm telling you, man. When fantasy starts dwindling, more people get into the bets, right? So get into the betting, man, and MyBookie is the place to do it. It's a lot of fun. All right, latest news and notes with guess who? And some people say, I read it in the comments, like, Breaking Brad is traveling with you? Yes, he's in the pool. You can't see him. He's behind me in the pool. There he is. Breaking Brad, where are you?
We now have breaking news.
All right, I'm going to cover a couple of things here, with the news. And TreVeyon Henderson, man, amazing stuff. Look at this. TreVeyon Henderson dominates 3 total touchdowns, 19 times, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and secured 5 targets for 31 yards and a score. Amazing stuff. Patriots win 27-14. And I'm telling you, they should have started Henderson week 1. That should have been the initial thing. They should just start him. Week 1, we're starting Henderson because he tore up training. I was watching. I was telling these people Henderson's the guy, and then they were running Gibson, and then good riddance, he's gone, and they're running Stevenson, and he's fumbling, and he said years to hours. We're not wow. Why aren't you playing Henderson as your 3-down back? Now, when Stevenson comes back, there's rumors that they're going to be playing him. And that's what I'm going to lose it because that is when it gets really crap because he's crushing it. Like Henderson's the real deal. Like why wouldn't you just play him all the time? And that's why. Like I see things even before coaches see them, believe it or not. So that's how good my fantasy football, senses are that I can see things even before coaches. I would have just started him day 1. Okay. Drake May, another standout effort, completed 25 of 37 passes for 281 yards. And a touchdown. Awesome. No interceptions while rushing 4 times for 2 yards. Patriots win. Amazing. I mean, Drake May is going to be a solid starter for the years in this league, and a fantasy contributor for years down the road, okay? A couple other things I want to note here. Lamar Jackson logs in a full practice on Thursday. He had a knee issue, returned to a full practice Thursday, okay? Note that. Garrett Wilson lands on IR. Knee has been placed on IR by the Jets. Going to miss the next 4 games. Xavier Worthy added to injury report on Thursday, was limited in practice due to ankle injury. Drake London limited in practice. Illness, had a back thing going, but I think he should be good to go. J.J. McCarthy was in full practice. Good stuff. He had a right hand issue. Godwin logs another limited practice with a fibula. Bucky Irving was limited as well due to shoulder issue there. DeAndre Swift practices in full. He was dealing with a hip. Just again, if I'm mentioning their name, keep an eye out for them. J.K. Dobbins is not practicing. This is important because he has a foot issue. He's probably going to go on IR. This is huge for R.J. Harvey finally getting the start here. And we wanted this guy to start earlier. But again, it's the NFL doing NFL things and limiting these guys with massive ceilings and the better talent, keeping them on the bench and starting bottom feeders like Dobbins. So he's not practicing. Good riddance. He's got a foot issue. I mean, he's an injury-prone guy. It was to be expected. That's why I've got a lot of Harvey stock. Unfortunately, Harvey has not seen his full potential due to, annoying J.K. Dobbins, okay? Again, Ricky Pearsall returns to practice with that knee thing. So look into that as well if you got Ricky Pearsall. I think he's going to play, okay? So that's it for latest news and notes with Breaking Brad.
We now have breaking news.
All right, I want to go over here. I'm going to pull up now. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. Make sure you guys do hit the subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up. It takes a second of your time just to hit the thumbs up. We're going to go over all of the optimal plays at each position. It's going to help you guys looking at the algorithm here, who the optimal starts at each position, so you guys are going to be fully prepared for this week so you guys can win out week 11 here, okay? So let's talk about it. Smash that thumbs up and drop a question below if you have it. Let's go. So the guys that have optimal matchups at the quarterback position, we got Geno Smith, great matchup versus Dallas. And again, Geno Smith has not done good. So these numbers here, guys, you're going to take a look here. There's 3 numbers. Those are the past 3 weeks. So green means good. It means it's a favorable matchup versus position. And then you've got these 3 numbers here, 5, 27, and 3. 5 points last week, 27 points 2 weeks ago, and 3 points 3 weeks ago. So as you can see, a bad week, bad week, and a good matchup. So if you got Geno Smith, you may want to consider starting him because he had a down week last week, so he could be trending up, and he's a good start. So that's how I want you guys to read these moving forward, okay? Tua, 13 points last week, 10 the week before, 20 for the week before that. Great matchup here versus Washington. Rodgers, great matchup, only 8 points last week. Jordan Love, again, some of these guys, you're going to see like Drake May's already played. So if they've already played, obviously, guys, you don't want to start them. But okay, Jordan Love, great matchup versus the Giants. Herbert, great matchup versus Jacksonville. McCarthy, great matchup. May's already played. Jacoby Brissett, again, there's an issue going on with Kyler Murray. There's even talk about Kyler Murray going back to the MLB. I say go for it. You suck. I think Jacoby's a safer start anyway, okay? So Jacoby, great matchup versus San Fran. Dylan Gabriel, also a great matchup versus Baltimore. Jalen Hurts, obviously a must start. Guys that have it in tough, obviously red equals tough. Cameron Ward, you're not starting Cam Ward. You've got to have a better option than Cam Ward. Hopefully he's not your starter. And he's got it in tough versus Houston. Mahomes got it tough versus Denver. And here's the thing. I want to talk about this real quickly here. Let's talk about the NFL and it being rigged, because I'm the only one kind of open about this. I know there's other influencers talk about it being rigged, but nobody necessarily in the fantasy industry. I want you to watch this game super close between the Broncos and the Chiefs this week. Now, if you look at it, I believe the Chiefs are 5-4. Their record is not trending good. If they keep losing, they may miss the playoffs, okay? Like, that's how bad it is right now for the Chiefs. So you want to watch the officiating extremely closely in this game, because the Broncos are the better team defensively and offensively with a better record. Then why are the Chiefs favored? I believe they're favored by 3.5. Why? Because they know the Chiefs are going to win. So watch that game. I almost guarantee you that the calls are going to be going against, the flags are going to be going against Denver, and the calls are going to be favorable towards the Chiefs. So watch that game really closely. Okay, I'm telling you right now because I believe the fix is in. Okay, I want to put that out there because I totally believe that the NFL loves the Chiefs, and right now the Chiefs are off to a really, really bad season. So watch that game closely. I'm telling you. Okay, I'll be watching it. That's the game I'll be watching and honed in on very closely. But Mahomes has a tough matchup versus position, but I still think he does well based on, the refs going his way, okay? Baker Mayfield, also great matchup. Sorry, tough matchup versus Buffalo. Tough. Red is tough. Fourth hardest versus position. Lamar Jackson. Again, we talked about his injury. Brock Purdy, injuries, right? Check their injury designations. Bryce Young, Jackson, Dart. I still think you start Dart. I mean, look at it's 27 points, 19. He's consistent. He's playing Green Bay, though. But, worth a start if he's healthy. Check that injury designation. There's a heart. Check the injury, okay? I don't have any Dart stock, okay? Sam Darnold and Bo Nix, all right? Those are your guys that have it in tough. Let's move on to the running back position here. And I'm telling you, man, sometimes even though they've got let's say, a favorable matchup, they crap the bed. Sometimes when they got a tough matchup, they do really good. So it's up to you guys at this point to start the player that's literally got the most consistency in regards to targets and volumes, whether wide receiver, running back. Are they eating? Is the situation good? Like yesterday, TreVeyon Henderson. I'm like, dude, you got to start TreVeyon Henderson because the situation's primed, right? You got to look at situations, okay? So Jaylen Warren, great situation here. Playing Cincinnati. We got Woody Marks. I would start Woody Marks this week. Great matchup versus Tennessee. Awesome. And, 16 points last week. Not bad. He's eating up. Josh Jacobs had a down week last week, but you got to start him versus the Giants. We got Ashton Genty, a good matchup. Genty's been safe the past 2 weeks, as you can see. 15 points and 20 points. I think he's going to be better next year as long as the Raiders improve that O-line. They got some work to do. I think they need quarterback help for sure as well. Tough. Okay, Bucky Irving, I would start Rachaad White, possibly great matchup versus Buffalo. And I don't know if Bucky's playing. He's been banged up. He's not going to play. Judkins is a must start. He's been safe the past 2 weeks. Not even safe, but 11 points, 5 points, 26. Judkins has got to pick it up. Just had a couple big weeks, earlier on this season. Just has not done anything lately. Achane is consistent as they come. And I was wrong on Achane. He's tearing it up. I thought injury would have got him. He's been safe. Good for him. James Cook, a must start. Great matchup. Jahmyr Gibbs, a must start. And I was talking about this committee garbage. I mean, I think they were at 15 attempts last week, both of them. And I'm telling you, man, if Montgomery was not getting that volume, Jahmyr Gibbs would be crushing it. It's crazy. And then Henderson, he crushed it and had a decent matchup there. Guys that have it in tough, we already saw Breece Hall. He already played, but he had it in tough. Zach Charbonnet, again, Kenneth Walker, a bit of a committee there. They have it in tough versus the Rams. We got other guys. Saquon Barkley's, 6 points last week, 5 points 3 weeks ago. We talked about a regression, a guaranteed regression out of Saquon Barkley, and he is showing that this year. Now he's got a third hardest matchup versus Detroit. Tough. We talked about Derrick Henry and his fall off here. He's been safe at best, but his ceiling has been capped, and just over the hill stuff for Derrick Henry and the injury to Lamar and stuff like that. Tyrone Tracy, boring, safe, tough matchup, fifth hardest versus position. Now I talk about RJ Harvey, must start, especially if Dobbins sits, and I still think he's a must start. He is playing KC. And it is a tougher matchup, sixth hardest versus position, but I still think you have to start him. Someone's got to get the volume, and just watch those penalties, okay? Kyron Williams, a must start, seventh hardest matchup versus position. Chase Brown, safe, eighth hardest matchup versus position, though, versus Pittsburgh. Still got to start those workhorses. Kareem Hunt, all these guys, Tony Pollard, tougher matchups versus position. And Kyle Monagai, I would start him, but he's got a mid-range matchup. Moving on to the wide receivers here. With wide receivers, it's been extremely volatile. I would start Trey Tucker here. He's got a good matchup, but again, they brought in Lockett, there's Beck, and there's Thornton. None of these guys has been a true one. I thought Thornton would have stepped up based on what we saw in preseason, but has not happened, okay? Waddle, a must start here. Great matchup here, with you got the Miami versus Washington. Jefferson had a down week last week. I would consider him, 8 points last game. He's got to step it up, okay? Jamar Chase, great matchup versus position. Obviously, a must start. Jerry Jeudy, great matchup. I'm just going through here. Devontae Smith, we saw A.J. Brown telling people, hey, man, look at him, 0 points, 3 points. Very inconsistent. It's if you had me in fantasy, I would drop me. So I don't even trust A.J. Brown. But that being said, he's going to probably come out and tear it up after some down weeks, okay? But great matchup for those guys. Romeo Doubs, only 2 points last week. Great matchup versus position regardless. CeeDee Lamb must start. And Nico Collins, he's been getting a ton of volume. Go look at his targets. Ton of volume. Nico Collins must start. And Ladd McConkey heated up. Had a slow start to the season. It was a Quentin Johnson show. Now it's shifted back towards the donkey, Ladd McConkey, okay? And yeah, all those guys must starts. Guys that have it in tough, again, if you're trying to decide, at least you could go here and reference it. Like Rashee Rice, tough matchup, but he's definitely a must start in what I believe will be a fixed game for the Chiefs. But again, so many wide receivers here. Looks like Rashee is still the one. Jacoby Myers here, Jacksonville, Brian Thomas, you got a heart designation. Jacoby could be worth a start if, Brian Thomas sits or gets, limited. But tough matchup regardless for those guys. Sutton, Franklin, Mims, Bryant. Who is it? Who's the one? But Sutton and Franklin, tough matchup. Third hardest versus position. We talked about that. Shimmery, Dikey, whatever his name is, Manor. It's a disaster here. You're looking at a 10-point floor in a tough matchup versus Houston regardless. Debo, I still start him, but fifth hardest versus position. Drake London, check out the injury designation. There's a heart there. He should still be fine. Sixth hardest matchup versus position, but you got to start him for sure. Puka Nacua, seventh hardest matchup versus position, still a must start. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't like Amon-Ra St. Brown because here's the thing. That guy's got no balls. I want to just go on record by saying Amon-Ra St. Brown has got no balls. There was a video that came out where he was, I think, on a stupid podcast. I don't know who even watches Amon-Ra St. Brown's podcast, but what happened was, I guess he did the Trump dance and he apologized for, I'm sorry if I offended anybody for doing the dance, whatever, right? And he apologized for it. Like, how weak of a person are you to comply to the sheep that are saying that they're offended by a dance? Like, who's offended by a dance? Like, that's how soft society's become. And Amon-Ra is even softer for even apologizing for doing that, man. That is weak. So Amon-Ra will never be on my fantasy teams just because of that. Okay, so anyway, regardless, he's got a tough matchup. Hopefully bust this week, okay? McMillan, tough matchup versus position. And that's all I got for you. DJ Moore, tough matchup. All right, let's move on to tight end, and we'll get to defenses here for you. Tight end, start your safest tight end, get your 10 points out of him. A lot of people saying, oh, well, I got a bye week on Warren or whoever it is. I think Pat Freiermuth is safe. But these guys, some of these guys are just extremely touchdown dependent. So you're going to get 4 targets out of Pat Freiermuth. But what's going to happen is he's only going to be limited to like 8 points, right? Or 10 points. Unless he gets that touchdown, which I think he's due for one now. It's very unlikely that he's going to absolutely crush it, okay? So Pat Freiermuth, Greg Gaddison, I think he's a good start here as well. A good matchup here. Take a look, guys. See if your player's on here. Higbee, good matchup. Kyle Pitts, good matchup. Loveland, good matchup. Hunter Henry, we saw. It was a favorable matchup. Elijah Arroyo could be interesting. Him and Barner, one of those guys is due for a good game. They got a good matchup. Mason Taylor, we saw, decent matchup. McBride, obviously a must start here. So those are your good matchups. Then Cade Auden, tough matchup. Laporta, you still got to start him, tough matchup. Gunnar Hellman, Chig. I mean, what are you going to get? 3 points out of these guys? You never know. Evan Ingram, 7th hardest versus position. If you got him, you got to start him regardless. Harold Fannin, I think, is safe, but 9th hardest matchup versus position. And Kelsey, I think you should start him this week. Good matchup. Same with Andrews, okay? Mid-range matchups. And Brock Bowers, what a bust. 4 points last week, but if you got him, you got to start him, okay? Best defenses to start. Okay, let's go. Texans, great matchup versus Tennessee. That's the defense for the week. Ravens versus Cleveland. Cowboys versus Vegas. Great matchup there. Bears versus Minnesota. 49ers, as you can see, versus Arizona with Jacoby there starting under center. We got Falcons versus Carolina. I do like that one. Commanders versus Miami, and the Steelers versus Cincy. Jacksonville versus Chargers. I don't know about that one, but I do like the Steelers. I do like the Cowboys. I do like the Texans a lot. And the 49ers this week when you're looking at defenses, okay? That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you guys smash thumbs up. Drop a question below. Head on over to mybookie.ag. Use code FFC. Go create an account, deposit, get in on the action. Get my picks below. Counselor's Edge. All linked below for you guys. Fantasy Football Week 11 is here. Starts and sits. Hopefully this really helps you, everybody. And go out there and crush your week. Okay? Drop your questions below. Again, if you want guaranteed access, patreon.com/FF Counselor. Have a great day. I'm going to go jump in the pool.